Good Friday morning. My name is Jerry Miller. Welcome to Real Talk on the I Love CVille Network. Real Talk, of course, the insider's guide to real estate. We are live in Charlottesville, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world. Today we have a fantastic program lined up for you. Joe Gentile in the house, the National Vice President of Sales Strategy of Pearl Certification. He's kind enough to join us all the way from New York. We're going to welcome him to the show in T-minus 60 seconds. Donna Schmidt, the account executive of American Home Shield, also kind enough to join us here on Real Talk, powered by the Yes Team Realtors. Judah Wickower, my friend, you are the director. Why don't you start with the two-shot, sir, and let's welcome the star of the program, the venerable, the dapper, the sharp,
Whoa.
the intelligent Keith Smith.
Wow.
Welcome to the program. My friend, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well, but with an opening like that, it's only going to go pretty well.
No, and I've noticed a couple things here. Haircut and different glasses
Oh,
this
there's
morning.
a story behind the glasses.
Okay.
I left the house without my glasses.
Okay, so this is the backup pair.
This is CVS.
Oh, there we go. Thank you, CVS.
Shout out to CVS, yeah.
Off-the-shelf readers today.
Something like that.
Okay.
So,
Good morning. What do we have today?
So we have two rock stars. We talk about this all the time, rock stars on that. And I was thinking on the way in this morning that I'm not so sure we're going to get to too much of the topic because Joe's a fellow New Yorker and Donna's a fellow Marine. So I think between those two things, at some point we'll talk about Pearl and at some point we'll talk about American Home Shield. To play off your comment, I was told Yonna this morning, I used to be good looking, smart, and in shape. And she kind of said, yeah, you're right.
No, she did not. And she's watching right now.
Man, you should have told me that before I said that.
Hello, Yonna Smith. You know we love you on this program.
Oh, amen. So I'm going to let you take off over the intro, and then we'll move on from there.
Studio camera, Judah Wickower. And let's welcome our guests, Donna Schmidt and Joe Gentile. We're going to start ladies first.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself to the viewing public. Who is Donna Schmidt, and what makes her tick?
Hi, good morning. I'm Donna Schmidt. I'm the account executive for American Home Shield. I have been with our company going on 15 years. Prior to that, I worked with one of our home inspection companies that our previous parent companies owned. And prior to that, I was in the Marine Corps. What makes me tick? Personally, hobby-wise, my children. My children are my main focal point of everything I do and everything I breathe. I have 4 wonderful children and 3 great-grandchildren. Other than that, my personal life is my job. As you get older and your kids fly the nest, you sort of have a boring life and you have nothing else to do but work. And so that's about what makes me tick. And that is that it's helping other people and paying something forward. I have been very fortunate and blessed to be in this position that I have with this company. And, I have seen a lot of wonderful things happen for homeowners. So that helps.
I love it. I love it. Give it a like and a share on any of the 12 Facebook pages you're watching, just like Lauren Skelton has done. She's giving Joe some props right now on the show. The program is yours, Joe. I have a feeling after 5 minutes of meeting you that the gift of gab and human connection is one of your God-given abilities. Who is Joe Gentile?
All right, so Joseph Gentile, VP of Sales Strategy for Pearl. I've been at Pearl now for 2 years. I've been in the real estate services business for over 20. It's been a fun ride. I came over to Pearl truly to change the way real estate is being conducted across the country. I do have a passion for that. In addition to that, for me, it's family, food, friends. That's what makes me tick. Sometimes that order changes depending on the time of day, but yeah, that's it for me. I also golf is another passion of mine, although I'm still learning how to play it well.
I know the feeling. I'm usually out there in the course with my friends in a six-pack, and that makes me happy, though.
Yes, absolutely. So that kind of ticks off 2 of the boxes. Yeah, it's funny. Before I had children, I was able to play more often. So getting better at it was easier. So now 5 and a 7-year-old, you don't get out in the course as much.
I know the feeling.
So I was born in Bay Ridge, but moved out to Long Island. What city again?
So I'm in New Hyde Park.
New Hyde Park.
4 miles in from Queens.
There you go.
30 minutes in from Manhattan.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
So
a
I
great
was
place.
a little further east and a little further south on Levittown.
Yeah,
So-
that's like a whole nother way from
Oh
you.
yeah,
That's-
excuse me.
it's-
Sorry.
He said the same to me. I said my wife's from Southampton. He goes, "Oh, that's on the other side of the
Yeah,
island."
Jesus, that is like,
Well, once you put
It's a different world.
if I have to drive that far, I may as well just.
Dude, it's such a tough drive. It's like one way in, one way out, and there's always traffic.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
once you
pretty
put the word Hampton with anything, it's like, yeah, okay, good luck.
much. Yeah, go buy a boat.
That's my father-in-law right there.
Yeah, so we're going to start with you, if you don't mind, with the handsome, good-looking gentleman across the table from me. I'm in sales, so you know that.
Yeah,
you know,
no, I'm taking the compliment right in. I
Is he talking to
agree.
Judah the director?
Judah. Hey, Judah.
I just messing with you, Joe.
I told you this was going to be fun.
It was
today.
gonna be fun.
We're probably, I'm going to try to get a question out. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
So, first and foremost, I want to thank Pearl for sponsoring our show or being one of our sponsors, because without you guys, we couldn't do what we do, and we couldn't touch as many people as we touch, so thank you so much. But, as a high level, I'm a Marine, so you got to keep it simple. If you can give us, excuse me?
What?
Well, I'm going to change gears for a second. We realized chatting go on, Donna got out as a gunny, I got out as a staff sergeant, so technically she outranks me.
Wow.
So-
Props.
Yes, props.
Impressive. Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
So, at a Staff Sergeant United States Marine Corps level, can you please give us a overview of the benefits to Pearl, to real estate agents, and to the people that we serve, the homeowner?
Sure. I mean, Pearl certification at its core is a differentiator, right? What we do is we help agents differentiate themselves and the homes that they're listing so they can earn more listings, sell them for more, and sell them faster. So we're highlighting the energy efficiencies of the home and making sure that they're visible in the transaction to make them more desirable. So essentially, we're like the packaging on the iPhone. So we're bringing out all the shiny features in the home that go largely unnoticed during the transaction. It's also a great way to level the playing field on an older building stock home that's been retrofit, so it can sell competitively against a new construction home.
So you walked in, like I mentioned, into an advertising agency. Know your game well. You are essentially leverage for the agent to potentially better market a home and get it to sell quicker, because we all want to purchase a property that is energy efficient. So if there's an independent party that offers the barometer of energy efficiency, which Pearl certification undoubtedly does, and if the agent is able to leverage that certification properly, the home should sell for more money and at a faster rate.
Right. For me, is if you went up to a whole, a room full of buyers and said, "Hey, would you like to live in a house that had less dust, less bugs, less mold, cost less money to run every month, and was more comfortable?" Would that appeal to you?
Absolutely.
How
No
many
doubt.
how many
Who would
hands
say no?
Right. So yeah, no, I want the house with more bugs in it. No, of course not. But it's articulating that in the home buying process that is incredibly difficult. Pearl is the thing that kind of connects the dots for the buyer.
So the comment on that is I'm wearing my Captain Obvious socks today, so apparently I need to give them to Joe.
Joe, I love it. I love it. Let's get Donna in the mix. Keith
Yeah.
Smith.
So Donna, same basic question at a high level. Yonna and I use the heck out of both of your products, and what we do with our listings, we use the American Home Shield, and we do it with our buyers too. We give that to them if there isn't already on the house. So again, at a high level, what is the overall benefit to a real estate agent or a property owner or homeowner to use your product?
To use a product. Well, with American Home Shield and with most warranty companies, what it does, it'll give the homeowner, especially a new buyer, peace of mind for the first year they're moving in. Whether you're moving into a new property or as an existing property, they have no idea of how that home has been used and how the systems have been used or anything else. And so they're walking into just blindly is what they're doing. So anything can fail, in a minute's time. So what a home warranty will do for a homeowner, again, it covers, major systems and appliances depending on levels. So to give that homeowner peace of mind, they know that if they move into the new property, even first day, and they have a home warranty, that as long as it's something that has failed due to normal wear and tear, it'd be considered a covered item, and not, it's called undetectable pre-existing conditions. Again, you can have a home inspection, which is always recommended. But that home inspection is a snapshot in time, and you can inspect it one moment, turn around, and something can fail the next. And that's what the warranty is there. It's to help a homeowner go against their unexpected repairs and major costs of items that fail.
You're going to love this comment. You will too. The Chief Executive Officer and the President of Ray Cadell Real Estate and Associates is watching. In fact, we have 4 different real estate firms watching the show now. Give it a like and a share. Ray Cadell has this message for you. He says, "We have personally had multiple great experiences with American Home Shield for some pretty serious amounts of money. First-class service, no arguments, and please thank Donna for her service."
Thank you very much. I actually have, I know of Mr. Cadell. I've been in Charlotte for about almost 15 years working this, so.
Fantastic.
Yes, thank you.
So I'll add a personal story to that. So our oldest daughter, we helped them buy a house up in Norwalk, Connecticut, and as a gift, we bought them the home warranty on it, your product on it, and I think within the first 6 months.
It's a good gift.
First 6 months, hot water heater got replaced because it went on it. Their LP furnace got replaced because it went on it. I don't want to tell you any more because they might pull the program from it. but they sure as heck got their money's worth from it, and we both Pearl certification and your product, we push that product so much that they're almost no-brainers, right? Captain Obvious kind of stuff. But to go back to Pearl for a second, and I'm trying to multitask here, but you guys have an awesome pre-qualification survey on your website, and I actually did it on my house this morning, and they said no go. No, I'm not kidding.
They said super.
No, they said try it again. The builder really sucked.
No, you built this all.
So in any event, talk about that because that's a really neat tool, right? So you get online, you fill it out. It takes about 30 seconds to do it, and then somebody from your organization will reach out to me and start this process.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've designed an app so it helps agents differentiate themselves so they could be be in the middle of their listing presentation, real time, have a home pre-qualified so they know, hey, this is a Pearl certified home. They can download the app at certifymyhome.com, and once they do that, they enter in their information, 6 questions, very easy, and it gives us an idea of what the house looks like from an energy efficiency standpoint. If the house is approved, then they can order certification, and then we can help them properly market the property.
You're getting prompts right now from a number of people. Evidently, you're a very popular guy here. You're getting some love from John Boyd and Aaron Bates.
Oh,
Both giving
nice.
you some love here. Give it a like and a share. Good luck, Joe, from Joe Cianciotti.
Cianciato, yes.
Yeah, he's watching.
He's Irish, right?
Yeah, Irish guy.
Irish
Irish guy.
John Boyd says, "Go, Joe, go." 4 different states watching the program as we speak, Keith Smith.
4 different states, outstanding. Is Greg Slater on?
Greg Slater's not on right now. I will keep an eye for him.
Yeah, because he'll chime in on a couple of questions for Joe and Pearl. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of what Pearl does and the importance of having an environmentally friendly house. So we talked about this on the show before. 2019 car buyer and seller home trends. So I'm looking at this report at the moment. So, and it has different things broken down, and I apologize, Judah, for not getting this to you. But 40% want energy efficient. 34% heating and cooling costs. So of energy efficiency and how one lives in his house is so important. And believe it or not, we talk about millennials, they're the highest group that care about this. So talk a little bit about, Joe, when I take a listing for my house, what products do you offer me to help sell this client's house? Because you have some really neat stuff that I can put in for marketing and listings and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're not enhancing the selling process for the listing agent, we're not doing our job, right? So we have some sleek materials that they can post on on the internet, obviously, in terms of the certification report and things of that nature. But to me, the biggest point of differentiation are our home tour cards. So, for every certified home, every high-performing feature in that house gets a home tour card. It's like a little index card, and those get posted up around the house. So it's really not how a buyer starts their process, it's how they end their home buying process. So they go in, they see the air sealing on the house, is done. It's in the top 1% of homes in Virginia. They go to the house next door. Hey, this house doesn't have air sealing. I could have sworn that air sealing means less dust, less bugs, less mold, and better humidity control. I think the house next door is for us. And that's really what we're trying to do, again, is really draw out those features, make that house stand out above all the other homes, and really differentiate it in the selling process.
It's also, correct me if I'm wrong, it's also like some sort of national registry, right? So that's part of the problem with some of these other certifications, like HERS rating and so forth and so on. I mean, you have now a pretty master database throughout the country, whereas a real estate agent, if I'm showing Donna's house, I can look on your database and find out if this is certified, correct?
Oh, sure. So, and that's all done through the app, of course. So once you plug the home address into the app, we can tell you if the house is certified or not, sure.
Our buddy Greg Slater watching the show,
There
he
you go.
says, "Hey Joe, glad to see you on Real Talk, powered by the Yes Team Realtors. Give it a like and a share. 5 different real estate firms watching right now. 6 states watching the program. Joe Gentile continues to be a popular guy on this program with Eileen Lutz-Vaz. Am I saying her last name right?
Yes, correct.
Well, she's watching the program right now from New York. Keith Smith, let's get our friend Donna in the mix.
I am because benefits to a listing and to a listing agent. So I'll talk a little bit about how we use it, and you kind of play off of that a little bit if you don't mind. So we provide this as part of a listing. So if I'm going to list Jerry's house, we will provide that as part of our listing. We'll put it on there, and there's a seller component and a buyer component. So I'll let you talk a little bit about the seller component, but I'll tell you how we use it. And we talk about professionalism quite a bit on this show. Is the way we use it is if we end up with some home inspection items, right, that are potentially fitting within the criteria of it, so then Jerry isn't freaking out by the home inspection because your warranty picks it up.
Correct.
So talk a little bit about that if you don't mind, please.
We do. We have a listing coverage that the seller is eligible to have. We do during the listing period cover, it's called the major systems, the electrical, plumbing, HVAC, furnace, and water heater. So what happens is if you have a listing coverage on your property and you do have a home inspection done by a potential buyer, and that inspection finds some items that do fall within the guidelines of the contract of the major systems, then those can be dealt with and resolved, through the home warranty. It's called a trade fee, like a deductible, as they call it. And it's per trade. So we'll say if Joe has 4 different plumbing items and he calls me and says, "Hey, Donna, I've got 4 items," and they fall within the guidelines of the warranty, then we call that service call in. So under that one trade fee for that $75 for us, those 4 plumbing items would be covered. So it potentially saves you, the seller, some extra money, and it helps, the buyer out as well. And the one thing about our product right now is, and of course, when you're putting a warranty on a property, especially a listing, you are saying there is an intent to pass one to the purchaser, which is always a good idea. But again, if it's used during the listing period, and for some reason, sometimes the warranties do not convey. They can be negotiated out of the contract, or they can be, taken off. That seller at that point is not liable for the premium. So at that point, they call it free coverage, if you want to talk about that point. So they've had some work done through the home warranty company. And we do that just like a realtor does their business. And people ask us how we do that. How, as a company, can we afford to do something like that and not get paid? And I put it to the realtors and associates as in, you're taking on a listing, you advertise that listing and everything else, and you spend your own money on it, and all of a sudden that contract for some reason expires, the home didn't sell. You don't go to that seller to say, "Hey, you need to pay me all this money back." It's doing the business.
So there's a show in itself we should do one day.
Yes, because we're on the same page.
I know.
That right there is a show.
That is a show.
Yeah.
What it costs to put a listing.
Right.
It does.
Sure.
And I don't think everybody knows that.
Not everybody knows.
Right? We'll leave it at that.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
The realtors know.
But I put again a true story or a real life situation. We're currently working. We're representing a seller. We have a home inspection item. Turns out that the HVAC system is a little bit over in its years, and it's got a leaky coil.
Ooh.
And you guys are taking care of it.
Right.
And and it's just a benefit. But you're 100% right. You know, we spend a little bit of money to do a listing,
Right.
and it's just a mutual thing. So part of the reasons why I wanted Joe and Donna here, because in my little brain, I see a relationship here. Okay, not that kind of relationship, guys, but a relationship. And, you know, so to play a little bit off of one another, my hope is it becomes obvious that it's in everybody's benefit to get the
For
home.
both.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They get the home certified and then put the home warranty
Right.
on it. And I look at this as a
Symbiotic.
Thank you.
That's the word you were looking for.
I couldn't figure it out. You like them big fancy words.
Symbiotic, baby.
Isn't it like when two people are...
Come on now. So I think you should highlight that relationship.
I'll let you take it.
So when you look at, and I'm going to ask you guys the commercial piece, so I'm a commercial guy. First, we're going to stick with residential.
Okay.
And Donna, let me throw this to you here. Do you often get folks asking you, I'm sure you do, why do I want to spend the money on this? What is the true value
yeah.
of this? Because this seems like an absolute no-brainer to do. Like we need oxygen to
Right.
live as people.
Right. And I will tell you, I do get that question all the time. My whole goal as being the representative is first off making sure the realtors and their homeowners, it's called fair and reasonable expectations of what a warranty is and what it can do. You know, you're paying $500, $600, $700 for a product. You know, your expectation should be, and I hate to say that, but you know what it's going to do for you to help you not come in and replace everything in your home. It's a product to help you again with those unexpected repairs and replacements that you just weren't ready for. And I say, why not? Why don't you have one on your property? Everybody should have one. You know, even if we come in and replace one item for you, a stove or a refrigerator, that actually covers the cost of that warranty for you, and you still have the entire year of the other coverage.
Because the last thing you want to do is step over dollars to pick up quarters. And
That's true.
And not getting what a home warranty is stepping over dollars to pick up quarters.
That's true. That is true. And I like that. I really do.
I think you might steal that.
I might steal that from you. I really will. And it is true. People look at it and they think, well, why would I pay that money now? Or I can put the money in the bank until something happens. I don't think homeowners realize what some of these items cost.
It takes one sting,
then
you realize.
That does. They
On your
do
first home.
A 6K HVAC.
They will. They will call me and they'll say, I should have gotten the warranty. We moved in, something broke. And it should have, and it cost us this much.
Simply, you can't afford not to do it. That's really what
true.
it is. You
That is
really
true.
can't afford not to do it.
And that kind of goes to what you provide too, because you really can't afford not to do what you do. Because
That's right.
I believe when Cynthia was on the show, and you might be able to add a little bit more to it. There's like if I do my Pearl certification, on average, I receive a little bit more than average sales price. Is that not correct? Isn't there like
Sure.
a percentage?
Yeah, so we did an appraisal study in the state of Virginia, which is where we originated, and it showed that homes marketed correctly with Pearl sell for 5% more at closing.
There you go.
So yeah, it's of course for a minimal investment, you're getting a 5% return. Why wouldn't you do it?
So let's talk about that. What does it cost?
So it's for direct to the consumer, it's $425. If you're one of our Pearl partner agents, it's $369.
In other words, through your real estate agents.
Correct.
Got it.
So you're basically saying $425. Let's say the home sells for $300K. Okay, we're talking about a $15,000 increase for $425 out of pocket.
Right. Why wouldn't you do it? It is a no-brainer.
The challenge for Pearl certification, and I think that's one of the reasons you're here, one of the reasons you're sponsoring this program with 6 different firms, and your boy John White in Memphis, Tennessee, watching the program right now, is to educate the marketplace of the value proposition that is Pearl certification.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
I'll jump in if you don't
Yeah,
mind on
yeah.
that. So this goes back to what Donna said as a listing agent. And these guys, both of these guys, do a great job of educating the real estate community. Because as a real estate agent, I'm saying, hey, I just wrote $750 for photos, right? I'm kind of getting into the show a little bit. And then, I don't want to pay another $375, right? And what I can say I can say what Joe and Pearl has done is they've educated us that this is a benefit, because then you can sit down as an agent to explain to the seller, you're going to get your 5%. They'll remember that number.
Sure.
Right? And then with Donna, or an American Home Shield is, hey, here's a real life story, right? I have your product on my house,
Right.
as you know, and we had a 6-burner cooktop go. It was 18 years old. Turned out that the control knobs, they didn't make any longer. And I literally got a brand new cooktop in the mail, delivered, UPS or whatever, delivered to the house. I didn't reach out to you guys to install it. I know a little bit about this. I slapped it in myself. And I got a brand new thing. And I'm praying for my refrigerator to go.
If it goes.
Please go. I've been kicking it every day. Go.
The one thing about warranties, and I do hear a lot, is that people don't understand what the value really is. They'll say, well, we don't hear they pay out anything. Well, that's what a warranties company is supposed to do. With American Home Shield last year, we paid out close to $600 million in 1 year of claims. So we are doing what we're supposed to do. We do feel that, it is something that is valuable. And again, as long as the homeowner and the associate and the realtor understand, as I said, the fair and reasonable expectations, of what the warranty can do for them.
So one of my goals for the show has been promoting co-brokerages, to get information out to the market as a whole, to get information out to other real estate agents.
Say hello to Roger Voisinek.
Hey, Roger.
Yeah, Remax.
So and to be totally honest with you, most of the folks watching that are absolute pros and know everything that we're talking about because they're pros. But it's a great opportunity to get information out. We reached a ton of folks so that buyers or sellers can say, hey, tell me about Pearl. I heard it on this show, but these bunch of New Yorkers talking.
He thought I was a New Yorker. I get that all the time.
That's because you look like
You look
I
like
know,
You
it.
definitely
I
have the New York
get that
feel.
all
You
the time.
definitely
You're
have the
a
New
very
York
New
feel.
Yorker, and I spend way too much time with you.
Yeah.
Oh, it just broke my heart.
And stop. Mets fan.
Well,
Oh, you admit that publicly?
He does admit that publicly. One of your team members watching the program, I believe from Pittsburgh, is that where you're from, Lindsay Backman? She says it's an absolute no-brainer to get Pearl certified here. How about the scale? How you guys as a brand are trying to scale the brand countrywide? Talk to us about the strategy.
Sure. So when I came on,
great question.
yeah. So when I came on to Pearl, we were mostly in Virginia, northern Virginia, in the D.C. area, and what we did was we took it national. So now we're covering pretty much the country. We're in California, we're in Phoenix, we're in Massachusetts. We're all over Massachusetts now. We're in Michigan. The real estate vertical is just blowing up, but Bethany's doing a great job on the contractor side of things, and she's taking the company national in a big way. So yeah, some kudos to Bethany.
So let's talk about that for a second. The contractor component, don't you offer a little bit of services for that, correct? So what if you come into my house?
Sure. So what we do on the what we do on the contractor side, which is a little different than the real estate side, is we pick the top 5% of contractors across the country that do EE upgrades and
Whoa. So
energy efficiency upgrades.
There you go.
So and what Bethany does is she goes out, she vets out these contractors and these solar companies to see if we have the best of the best, and there's a whole criteria that they have to go down, and she signs them on and brings them on. So we certify their work when they're doing the actual upgrades.
So I've got Segura coming to my house. We're 18 years old. They're doing a great job. We haven't quite started yet, but they're actually going to put solar on the roof and actually replace my roof as a one package on it. But then you guys end up dovetailing on the back of it, and I'm going to receive a certification as part of that on my house. Is that correct?
Correct. So when the contractors come in to do the work, like Segura does a great job with it. They're one of our best contractors in the country. And so they'll come in, they'll do the work, we certify it, and then they'll actually certify the rest of the house as an added bonus of doing work with them, which is really cool. So not only are they certifying their own work, but they're taking a look at all the other high-performing features in the house as well.
So I'm probably going to add a little bit to your travel time. I just came back from a little over a week in Seattle and Portland. And if you guys aren't expanding in that market, that's where you need to go. It was amazing. Everybody was talking about energy efficiency. I was there as part of a auxiliary dwelling unit cohort and national housing, affordable housing cohort. But I would encourage you guys to reach out that way. And if you go, give me a call, Joe. My daughter's out in Seattle. We'll hang out.
Yeah, that's perfect. Definitely that
I'm not so
area
sure
is
I
on
can
the-
handle two New Yorkers like us, but we'll do it anyway.
They wouldn't know what hit it.
They would.
They would not know what hit it.
It's funny. We're talking about that at the Marie Bet, who's one of our sponsors. We were picking up a cup of coffee, and and so Joe bought me a cup of coffee. Thank you, Joe. And so I went to go grab the cup of coffee. He said, "No, that's for Joe." And I said, "Guess what? I'm Joe." And I took it and walked away. And,
They know you there.
And they know me there.
Yeah.
They went, "What are you doing, Keith?"
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay. I know Joe. We're good.
Let's thank some of the folks watching. Scott Bandy, hello. Meg Garenbrandt is watching. Give it a like and a share on any of the 12 Facebook pages. The Pearl certification, the American Home Shield, a no-brainer for a home, just like title insurance, a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Bill Tucker and Charlottesville Settlement Company.
Yeah, so we had them on, and they're one of our sponsors on our shows, and it's, again, where you want to bring a trusted advisor into it. It's amazing how many folks don't choose to opt out of owner's title insurance. We have a situation going on right now with a closing where the fact that they did is saving them many thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. So hats off to Charlottesville Settlement and Title for helping us out.
Stepping over dollars to pick up quarters.
It seems to be, I think we're going to steal that.
I'm going to steal that.
Yeah,
We're
I
all
usually
gonna
say
steal that.
nickels, though. It's stepping over dollars to pick up nickels.
I
But
like
yeah,
a
that's
little
a
that.
good one. Yeah.
Let me throw this to you guys.
This is the 21st century.
Yeah, I get it.
Just saying, Joe. Just
You
saying.
buy for a nickel, Joe.
Just saying, Joe.
All right, let me throw this to you guys here. Okay, commercial real estate guy. Why residential only? Is there any opportunity from a commercial side? Can we go ladies first on that?
We
question?
can. We currently do not cover commercial properties. We broke off last year. We had our 1-year anniversary as Front Door, as our parent company right now with American Home Shield. And we're looking at different avenues down the road. Right now, we're adding in other products for residential. We're doing electronics coverage for residential now. We're doing some other things. Commercial is something we're looking at. As a possibility down the line.
But I'll jump into that, Donna. So if we have to define commercial,
Yeah.
right? So if you,
This building.
I know, but these are condo units,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Correct.
And they are residential. There's some residential condos.
On the third floor, but my stake is on the first and second floor,
which is commercial.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
But if you had a rental portfolio of residential products,
That's a problem.
then you can use
Correct.
Pearl.
Why I'm just
Pearl,
curious. I learned from the show.
You can use Pearl and you can use American Home
I
Shield.
love this show because I learned. Is there trepidation? Is there concern? What is the hesitation?
There is. There's
with
a big difference in the usage of the systems and everything else from commercial and from residential. As a commercial property, you aren't taking you're not the only person using those items. Liability wise, someone can walk in and do something to your systems or things, and that's a contract for a personal. Residents only. So
It's a different world. It's a
it is,
different
very
animal.
different world. Systems are different, larger commercial ones.
Contractors. It's just everything. It's a whole
Correct.
different world. But to go into the investor buyer, right? So you own some residential rentals.
I do.
Right. So you would ask Pearl to come in, and you could certify your house, which is part of the certification process. Also can be, hey, this would be a good idea to do X, Y, and Z, right, to improve it. Is that correct?
We do have an investment plan that we can set up for, if you're doing work on homes and you're doing flips, of course.
So you can pay $400, or if you ask me to do it $375 because I like you.
$369, just to.
$369. Look at that, huh?
Thank you for saving me $31.
You know?
Any dollar counts.
What is this whole
Stepping over
yes.
dollars, quarters. That's right.
Just saying. So you can bring in Pearl, right? They can say, hey, X, Y, and Z needs to get fixed. You go ahead and get it fixed. You reach out to Donna. You put that on the thing, and if you have a tenant that messes up whatever.
Yeah, I do have one tenant. I'm not going to say her name.
Or your address.
Yeah, that's what you like to do. This portion of the program, thanks to the fine folks at Roy Wheeler Realty Company.
Yeah. So, our brokerage, we love them to death. Love Michael Guthrie out there. Joe was at our office yesterday. We had a chili cook-off or something like that, right?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah?
There was some very high-quality chili going around there.
Oh, that's not what you said before. You said interesting.
It was interesting. I enjoyed it. Yeah. I'm curious to see who won. If anyone.
So I couldn't go because we had to take care of the pet, and we had I had trying to help my Marine Corps buddy of mine out a little bit. So
You're getting some props from, is it Art Umaloff?
Yes.
Watching the program right now. Billy Galletti watching the program right now. We have Montauk watching the show, Nassau County watching the show, and a hell of a lot of Queens watching the program right now. Keith Smith.
well, Queens is Queens.
Queens is Queens. Queens.
I love Queens. Queens is great. I was funny. Most people don't know this. At one point in time, the borough of Brooklyn was the 4th largest city in the United States.
I did not know that.
Just in folks. Queens, not so much.
You got something to say about that?
No, well, I'm Long Island, so
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
there's a big.
That's right.
I am 4 miles in from
So
Queens.
what I don't
I have
understand,
grass and
That's
trees
across
and a
the
backyard.
Joe,
yeah.
I don't get it. Long Island,
Crescent.
Yankees. I just don't get it. How did that come about?
Oh, God, it's
The Mets have not been that great.
No, that's got nothing to do
No,
with
this
it.
is a family. It's a family thing.
There you
So,
go.
yeah,
That makes
this
sense.
is my.
That makes sense.
Yeah, my mother, my uncle. I mean, we had some pretty big Yankee fans. My uncle would tell us stories how he snuck into Yankee Stadium through a hole in the fence and would watch Joe DiMaggio, and yeah, that's where the magic happens.
Although he is an Islanders fan and not a Rangers fan.
So I'm an Islanders fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
My wife's an Islanders fan.
And I can finally say that out loud now that we're winning again, so which is
Yeah.
good.
Do you remember Dennis Pop fan?
Of course.
Wow, that was great, huh? That was a
Yeah.
lot of fun watching it. I was a kid, used to go to the Coliseum and watch hockey.
My brother used
so-
to take me to those games when I was little. Yeah.
So
Sorry
where's-
about that,
where's
Donna.
the Dallas Cowboys conversation?
What
She wants to know about the Cowboys over here.
You know,
Donna
I mean-
Schmidt's getting in the mix. I love it, Donna.
You know.
Get us back to real estate.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay,
get us
good.
back to real estate.
Well, again, one of the things we constantly talk about the show is we're trying to bring value. And what we want folks to hopefully walk away from this is that to see the value. We're not, again, what are we doing? We're stepping over quarters for dollars or dollars for
No,
quarters?
stepping over dollars.
Dollars.
for
Dollars
Pick
for
up
quarters, right? So, I mean,
You want to step over quarters to
I
pick up
know.
dollars. You want to do
Yeah,
that.
that would be helpful.
told you I wasn't smart. So but for a reasonable investment, with Pearl, you know where you stand with your home, right? For a reasonable investment for Donna and American Home Shield, you will get that fixed. So figure out what you qualify for, what your certification is, what you have in your house, right? Pretty reasonable price. Then reach across the aisle to Donna and American Home Shield and put a warranty on it. And it amazes me. We do 60 transactions a year. It amazes me how we have to fight that. And we've gotten to the point, we just do it. We just pay for it. We feel that this is an investment into our business and what we're trying to do to work on it. So I'm going to just open up and throw anywhere you guys want to go with this.
Look, I think I'll speak for American Home Shield and for Pearl. Forget about the products. It's about bringing service levels in the industry up, right? During booms, what you see is just service levels decline.
Sure.
And now we've gone through 2 booms in a row, and where are we right now as an industry? And look, if you do Pearl or you do American Home Shield, what you're doing is you're showcasing expertise, you're becoming a trusted advisor, you're better servicing your client, and you will capture more business. You do something to differentiate yourself.
So what's the word we use all the time on this show?
What's Rockstar?
Well, no, trusted advisor.
Trusted advisor.
We repeat those 2 words regularly, and that is one of our goals here: is to bring trusted advisors to the masses or to who's watching us. And the same thing goes on the real estate end of it. Go out. I mean, of course, we'd love you to seek out the Yes team, but if not, there's a ton of trusted advisors, a ton of pros in the real estate space that know exactly what you guys are talking about, and most of them are on the line, watch on a live feed on it. But so Donna, how do you want to kind of tie this in? How do you see the 2 of you guys tying in as far as Pearl and
That's a good
American
question.
Home Shield?
As with Pearl, well, American Home Shield and Pearl has always had a relationship, a partnership.
Did not know that.
I've been here for 15 years, and we had a lot of our account executives actually sell the E&O insurance through Pearl. But it is very important, and it is very smart, as he's talking about, is getting a home certified. And as he says, it helps us the home sell faster and more money. And that's the same with a home warranty. Statistics show that having a home warranty on a property when listing it actually, and providing it to the buyer, actually sells faster and for more closer to the asking price, because people are seeing the value of what it can do for them, and again, give them peace of mind. Certification of a home, I've dealt with many different organizations that did that. They pre-certify a home. That's gives that purchaser a peace of mind. They know that they're getting something that is authenticated and value, and some of that scariness of home ownership goes away.
So Joe, let's talk a little bit about new construction
I like
in
good
Pearl.
discussion.
And then we'll talk a little bit we'll bounce back over to Donna, but a dear friend of ours and a client of
Common client.
Common client, Dominion Custom Homes. We're actually listing one of their homes, and it's platinum, which is a pretty hard thing to get to.
Top 5%, sure.
So talk a little bit about the differentiation between, let's say, a platinum and a silver, and then how that ties into the new construction, because we spent a lot of time talking about new construction, how it impacts the market.
Sure. So, I mean, when you look at Pearl, we only deal with the top 25% of homes in the country, and that's what makes it special, right? So if we start dipping too far down into, below 25%, we get into 30%, it doesn't make it special anymore, right? So let's look at the top 25% of homes, which really are where, the silver home lies. And then the next level of that is gold. That hits about a 15%, and then above that is the top 5%. Yeah. So, I mean, when you look at, so now most new construction homes will land gold. But when you have people that really go above and beyond with their bills, they can get up to platinum, which is great, which is really what we're trying to do. As a movement, you want better homes out there, you want more efficient homes to help the environment, to help the consumers live more comfortable.
Certainly a testament to the integrity and character of Dominion Custom Homes. A reflection of the integrity and character we see at First Heritage Mortgage with Mike Bittrick, one of our sponsors.
That's exactly right. Mike, it helps across the board, but he's really good at new construction. If you reach out to him, he'll help you get through that. It takes a little bit of a minefield sometimes in new construction.
We can't wait to run the gauntlet with you guys.
Oh, man.
No idea we're going to run the gauntlet. We have about T-minus 3 minutes to that. I know you have some questions for Donna.
I do for Donna, but most of them are related around the United States Marine Corps. But we'll talk about that in a little bit later. Same question though, right? So this comes up all the time with us. Does American Home Shield have a product for new construction? So we just bought a house from Joe, new construction, it's finished. Mm-hmm. It has the 1-year statutory warranty on it.
Right.
Can I put can I put one of your products on?
Absolutely.
Cool.
We have probably the most fantastic new home construction warranty. What our warranty does, it starts on the anniversary date, the 1-year anniversary date of the closing, and it continues for 4 additional years. We know, and I will say this, it does.
I did not know that.
And the pricing is phenomenal. It is phenomenal.
So what is that? Do you know?
So, well, we have a couple. We have detached single-family homes, and then we have condo townhomes. I hate to double you right now, but for brand new construction for townhome for 4 additional years, I'm gonna say it runs less than $1,000.
Wow.
So just talk about that. So what is that actually? So why is that different than the regular American Home Shield on Joe's existing house? What benefits does it add for 4 years? Because I'll be honest with you, I was not aware of that, and thank you for sharing that.
Well, when you're moving into the new house, as you say, you have that 1-year warranty from the builder. Most of your appliances are under manufacturer warranty for that 1 year. And as we know, sometimes, 2 days after the warranty expires, something fails. But that's what, the home warranty is going to be there for. It is true. I mean, things are they are building, and I will say that what they call throwaway appliances is what they are now.
Yeah.
A lot of companies do not carry stock parts or anything else for new systems that they build because it's more feasible for them just to sell a new product. So that is one of the reasons. I mean, just like my home. I mean, I built my home, I'm talking 1 year and 1 month. My refrigerator died. So, I ended up getting a new one through the warranty.
Did you have your program on your house?
I did. I will tell you, I've had an American Home Shield warranty on my home when I first moved here got over here from the military. And others before I even knew about American Home Shield. But I'm very analytical. Sure. I look at all my, my options, and to this day, we have a very good product. So.
Is Greg still watching?
Greg is still watching. Rick, you'll appreciate this. Rick Tamburino.
Oh, yeah.
Has something to say to both Keith and Donna. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Ooh, Semper Fi.
So I'm going to throw a question to Greg, and maybe he can chime in. So Greg, as everybody knows, he's an awesome real estate agent.
Does a lot of new construction.
Does a lot of new construction.
Oh, call me.
But I was wondering, do we see that? Because this is news to me, and I thank you for sharing that with me. I was wondering if Greg sees sometimes in the negotiations on contracts on the front end, do they negotiate that in so the builder pays that? And maybe Greg will chime in while we're chatting on that. Or do you know anything about that?
We have a lot. I work with a lot of developers. I actually work the Central Northern Virginia territory, that when they market their homes, and it helps them a lot, they market it saying there's a 5-year home warranty
Got it.
versus that 1 year. So that's a good shout out for them. So they do pay for it in that aspect in the contracts. A lot of times when the new buyer comes in, and I'll say this, they have additional funds, I'm going to say that, and they decide, yes, we're going to go ahead and do that. A buyer does not have to decide at that time if they want that new construction warranty. They do have the entire year to decide, as long as they let me know prior to closing date that they have decided to move forward with that, and then we can get everything taken care of for them.
So, Joe, do you see a lot of folks during the new construction process using your product?
Well, we do have agents across the country that are using it. Yeah, look, it definitely sets the new construction aside from all the other builders that are out there.
Sure.
It is a true no-brainer for a new construction home.
Yeah, we love it for everything we do, but I see it as a huge benefit for new construction because you end up, the builders will let's say, meet the building code requirements. When you come in, you guys really do a deep dive.
Oh yeah, but it's funny, Keith. What we do is really level the playing field for the older building stock. My house was built in 1951. It's a gold home for Pearl, right? So all the upgrades that I've done over the past several years have brought it up to gold. If I put this house in the market, it will compete against the new construction home because it's more energy efficient, it's more comfortable.
So again, one of the benefits for the 360 something or whatever version of it is, I apologize, I didn't write
369.
369. Thank you. But you do get a list, right? So if you come in and you say, hey, it's kind of like if you go to Mike Bittrick, right, and maybe you have a little struggling credit issues, right? Mike will sit down and say, okay, hey, work on this, come back in 6 months, right? And then we can do this. You guys actually provide that service. You can give me
that's a separate service from the certification. So that's the home investment plan. So the certifications for the real estate agents to showcase a listing, right?
Got it.
We do have the investment plan that will give a pathway to a more efficient home.
But I can get from the certification to the investment plan, right?
Correct.
I start there and it's like a step.
Well, you actually go the reverse way, but yes.
Really?
So a real estate agent wouldn't use the investment plan on a listing, right?
Got it.
That's really for a homeowner that's really looking to make an investment in their house to make it more comfortable and make it more valuable.
But ultimately, you go through that process, and then I walk in and I want to sell your house.
And that's not $369. But it's a different product.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
So the mission of the program is to make content approachable and to educate the viewers on a complicated process. If you
Apparently the host too.
Well, and your colleague Greg Slater.
Yeah.
You just answered. Listen, you'll appreciate
Yeah,
this.
sure. Go ahead.
Greg says, this warranty for new construction was news to me as well. I am not seeing them discussed at time of contract. I think most are relying on the builder warranty and not thinking too much beyond that. Something for me to consider now.
So we just taught a bunch of people today.
Welcome to call me. I would love
8
to have coffee
different
with
real
you.
estate firms watching the program now. This portion of the program, thanks to Marie Bett.
Yeah, Marie Bett. We all had our coffee there beforehand, and I freaked out a young lady behind the counter because she thought I was Joe. No, she knew I was Keith.
But so if Joe bought it, did you not get the points?
I didn't.
You did get the points. You're trying to accumulate the points.
I am a top point person.
At that location or in Marie Bett in totality?
No, that location.
Okay, so at Water Street.
Yeah, so my goal is come December 31st, I'm going to cash it out.
He's donating the points.
Yeah, I'm donating the cash to Meals on Wheels.
Oh, very
That's
cool.
awesome.
It is awesome.
That
It
is
is awesome.
awesome.
So we
have fun?
9 minutes left.
Can we have fun?
Yeah,
Can we
we
have
have fun.
Good.
So 9 minutes left. I don't know if he let you know what you've gotten
No.
yourself into. Okay. In the final 9 minutes of the program, we run the gauntlet here. We ask you questions and we ask you to give answers without thinking.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
We do it all here too. Don't worry, Donna. You'll appreciate this.
Okay.
I expected that from the Marine.
Yeah.
This right here, Rick. How many jarheads can we get on one show at one time? Damn it! This is from Rick. He said that right now. You got a response to that?
Well, how many can we fit into a Volkswagen? I mean, that used to be one of the things back
Well,
then.
if it's more than three, we can't count
I
above
know.
three. So
Three. What's
Three's
next?
the limit.
Three.
You get the first question, or am I going first?
No,
You go first.
let me do that first. But if you notice, I turned my notes over.
Yeah,
I
this is-
know.
So that means we're going to have fun. So it's okay, Joe.
All right, so, all right, listen, I can handle it.
I think Joe can handle it.
I
too.
can handle it. I'm good.
Well, so we're going to start with Joe. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given, and why?
Wow, that's
Ooh, no thinking.
wow, no thinking. You stumped me.
Oh, come on now.
Wait.
You're a wrestler, right? You used to wrestle. So did your
Yes.
coaches give you any great advice?
Well, look, I actually ran. So it may not have been advice, but it was. I had run into a struggle my senior year, and I had considered giving up and quitting. And my coach, I approached my coach about it, and he said, "Look, I would quit too if I was in your shoes," which I thought was a funny thing. He said, "Look, you had high expectations for yourself, and you didn't work hard enough to actually achieve it."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "So you could either walk away from it now, or you can strap your shoes on and go out there and finish out like hell and do the best that you can."
So you know what I heard? Believe in yourself.
Yeah, and I ended up at practice that day, and
And
I
how did
finished
you
out.
do?
I finished out strong.
There you go.
Yeah, I won my qualifier that year. Yeah,
Good.
so it was
Good.
Very nice. Same
Don-
question for Donna.
Same question for Donna. Best piece of advice and why?
Never look back.
Amen.
It's always, if you can change something, you change it. If you can't change it, then you move on,
Sure.
you move forward, and live the life that's been given to you, and love the life that's been given to you.
So what's the prayer, right?
Yeah.
Trying to always remember that.
The Serenity Prayer.
That's exactly right, and recognize the difference, right?
That's right.
That's the key. Recognize
right.
what you can change, and recognize what you can't.
Our good buddy David Sloan from Sloan Manus Real Estate Partners watching the show right now, one of the co-owners.
So on David, and I won't give the specifics of it, but I had a chat with David the other day, and
My favorite was last week when Aaron, his co-founder, was on the show, and one of the people watching the show, Aaron goes, "So-and-so, I will get that to you right after the show." Remember, that was hilarious.
so since we have no rules on this show, every time I take a leak, I think of David.
We're going to leave it right there. We're gonna leave it right
I'm just
there.
saying, take a look at the valve. It's got a name on it. It's called Sloan.
Oh, the stand-up John.
Oh, okay.
Stand-up John.
Stand-up John. You got it. I'm going to throw this question to you. So it's going to
Sorry
be,
about that,
it's
David.
a variation. You said you've been here 15 years?
I've been with American Home Show 15
How about in
years.
Charlottesville?
I actually live out past Fredericksburg.
Oh, you do?
I live in King George.
Okay, all right. So then I'm going to throw the same question to both of you. I'll start with you. Your favorite aspect of Charlottesville, Virginia, and your least favorite aspect of Charlottesville, Virginia.
I will tell you, Charlottesville is my go-to place when I want to get away from the 95 traffic, because I do have Northern Virginia. Charlottesville is probably some of the most beautiful land that I have seen, and the people of Charlottesville are wonderful. They really are. It's a big difference in, I'm going to say, the personalities as I travel. The most welcoming and loving people here in Charlottesville.
Good answer. How about the least favorite? You're going to give that one?
Let me think. Least favorite? Okay, I'm going to say this. It's getting stuck behind the logging trucks on Route 20.
That's a good one.
I
I hate that too.
That's my least
legit.
favorite.
I mean, not only is it dangerous and you're scary, they go
I know,
slow.
they go
and
slow.
That road is a mess already.
It is.
Right?
So, yeah, that's my least favorite. But
Same
everything
for
else is
you,
perfect.
Joe.
Well, it's a no-brainer. So for me, it's the people. Look, one of the advantages of being me and traveling across the country is I get to meet people from all over the place, and I love the people in Charlottesville. When people open up and they welcome you in, and like Keith and the people at Roy Wheeler have done with me, it's just a great place to be and to visit. In terms of least favorite, don't you guys know how to build straight roads?
Nope.
Build it like a grid, so it's easy to get around. Everything has a turn and a curve to it. Just a couple of straight roads would be terrific. That would.
So, Joe, you realize Long Island is flat, right?
We're in the mountains, Joe.
We got a little bit of hills.
Yeah,
A straight road.
Gotta go
for
around.
God's sake.
Do you want me to
Thank
give?
you, Keith.
You want me to give you a little class about flat and?
I can't tell if I'm north or south, east,
I mean,
west.
the
Jesus.
highest elevation I think on Long Island is like 90 feet.
Maybe.
My top of my house is higher than that. Higher than that. So, Donna,
Yes.
you're on a stranded island. You're stranded on an abandoned island. You got nobody there. Deserted island. What book are you going to bring with you? You're allowed to bring one book. What is it going to be? You're on a deserted island. You're allowed to have one book with you. What is that going to be? I'm giving Joe an opportunity to think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Jesus.
wheels are moving over there.
One book. I will tell you, as I have aged through the years, and I've learned a lot of things, there's one that I probably still, and this probably just sounds cliche, but probably the Bible. So I can
Okay.
go back and
Respect that.
reread and
Good for you.
and learn things that probably
Good for you.
my age haven't learned.
The second person
That's
in the
right.
history of Real Talk
Yeah, that's
to
right.
offer that answer. The other, interestingly, was
Well,
a Marine.
Yeah,
And Bellamy Brown.
It was another Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That's right. Yeah.
That's interesting,
Well,
right?
I'm going to bounce off of that in a second.
Well,
after,
don't give the
yeah,
answer.
after Joe.
Yeah.
After Joe
All
gives
right,
his
So,
answer.
I mean, Donna stole my answer, honestly. So I have to,
No,
I have to
it's okay.
pivot.
I'm a Marine.
No,
I'm gonna do
No, if that's
No,
it, use it, man.
No,
That's good.
mine's very simple. It's how to survive a desert island by yourself.
Joe.
I'm screwed.
Wait, wait,
The
wait.
second person that's giving the answer. That is the answer.
But we
It is.
know that. But we already know how to do that, so we don't need that.
Do I
it
look
was
like
a
I
trick.
could survive? Yeah, please. Do I look like I could survive on a desert
I can't
island?
survive
Yeah,
in this
Jesus,
tonight.
I need
I'm wearing
a.
a cardigan for Banana Republic. The only thing I'm surviving is freaking this show.
So Joe, you know I love you, but the only way you're surviving on a desert island if you got about 30,000 pounds of cannolis. You're good to go.
I love cannoli.
I had one for the first time ever.
Really?
A couple
Oh,
of
my
weeks ago.
Was it a real one or was it like one of
Oh.
those
Tell
fake
you,
ones
well,
that
my
you get, like-
girlfriend
How much
actually
time-
is from
how
New
much time
York,
we got?
and she has a flown
90
down.
Yeah, not enough time. There's not enough time to talk cannolis.
I had one.
Oh,
They
it's
have to
gonna take
fill
a
it
lot
for you
longer than
right
90.
there before they serve
Well,
it to you, or it's not a real one.
She is from New York, and she has everything flown down all the time. So like the black and white cookies we had the other day, and
The black and white cookie.
and Hoke
God,
are these
yeah.
these what do they call subs from New York, and she had pizza flown in and cannoli.
Is that the Chris Pollan? Welcome to the program. That's your boy. Is that true with the cannoli?
Oh yeah,
You have to fill it right
right
in front
there.
of you.
Oh yeah, like
the
it has-
shell.
Yeah, or else the shell gets soggy, and then that's
Well, yeah.
that's a fake
That's what
cannoli
we
at that
do.
point. Yeah.
Interesting. I've never had a cannoli
And
like that.
well, that's the only way to have it.
Yeah.
And you better eat it real fast.
Yeah.
Very good. You got a final question? This show's been fire. It's been great.
I knew, like I said earlier, I knew. I was struggling that we're
I feel
actually
like we should all go have some beers and a bourbon, some meals right now. This has been fun.
okay,
Oh, all right, you twisted my arm. Good deal.
and a cannoli.
As long as they fill it in front
That's
of us.
right.
You got to fill in front of you. Gotta know what's going
You
on.
guys crushed it. Thank you for
Well,
joining
thank you
us.
for
Thank you.
having us. Thank you very much. We
Yeah,
appreciate
super,
it.
super fun.
So thank you for sponsoring. Thank you for being here, guys. This is exactly what I wanted to do with the show, was to get some good information out. Sounds like we've learned a few things.
A lot of
And-
people.
I know I have. And welcome anytime. All you guys got to do
Thank
is
you.
tell me when, and you guys are always welcome. So thank
Appreciate
you
it.
very much.
We will archive today's show on ilovecville.com. We will syndicate it across 17 Facebook pages, 17 Twitter accounts. We will turn it into an iTunes podcast by close of business today. It will go out into a daily newsletter that reaches 118,000 inboxes every morning at 11 a.m. Rick says, great show. Watch from start to finish. Laughed my tail off. Thank you, Rick.
Semper Fi, Marine.
This program and our network, over 253,000 people a year, eyeballs on these programs. Thank you kindly, guys, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank
Real
you.
Talk, powered by the Yes Team Realtors. Enjoy your morning. Have fun this weekend. Be
Great
safe.
job.
Happy
Take care.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Great
Appreciate
show.
it.
Great
Thank you
show.
very much.
Great show. We got one more thing to do. We got to take a photo.
All right.
We'll do it over here. Good work, Pete. Good work, Judo.